How you doing tonight? How are you doing on tonight? It is Friday night, and you know what time that is. It is On the Couch with EAJ3. We want to take time out to welcome you again to another episode of On the Couch with EAJ3. I hope you are following us on all social media platforms. I would like for you to make sure you keep up with us. We have some great things coming up down the pipe, and we want you to make sure that you're a part of it. So listen, if you're following us on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook, let us know, leave us a comment, say something good to us. But tonight, we are here on the couch with EAJ3 where we talk life, purpose, and faith. And we have a special guest. You know, we always bring somebody in who is doing something in the earth, who is making changes, making impact, helping to make others' lives better through their gifts and their talent. And we have one of our Jacksonville's own, Justin Groover. We are so glad that you're here.
No, the honors are mine. Thank you for having me, Pastor.
Oh, man. Just listen. First of all, Justin's grandfather's church is across the street, diagonally across the street from our church.
That's right.
And then Justin comes over and plays for us. He's subbed for us.
Absolutely.
He's a very kind-hearted person, and I'm so glad that you're joining me on the couch today.
It's my honor for you having me here. Thank you, Pastor.
Oh, man, we're grateful to have you. Listen, who is Justin Roberts? Talk to us.
That's always a weird question for me because I hate talking about myself. But who is Justin? I am a real estate agent. I'm an artist, and just somebody that loves people. If you had to ask me that question, that's who I am. I'm a real estate agent. I am an artist who sings and plays, and I'm just somebody that likes to help people, whatever that looks like. If it's, giving them money, if it's showing them how to, to change their tire, whatever that is, that's what I love to do.
Now your family background dynamic, first of all, it's preaching, but it's music. The Groover Boys, it's just music. So talk to me about coming up in that kind of environment. And then we're going to segue to talk about real estate because that's a whole left turn from music. Yeah. So talk to us about that.
Man, growing up in the Groover family and Roberts family, it was, whoa. All you heard was music all the time. My grandfather is the pillar of the late Dr. Apostle Gentle Groover, who passed away. He is the pillar of my family, but he was also always, telling us to be very studious, but it was music in church. And everybody in my family sings and plays.
I know, right?
So it's like, if you can't sing and play, it's like, what's wrong with you?
Right.
And then we're going to teach you how to sing and play. So it doesn't matter. I had my nephew, he was 9, singing hours and all the time, but it was crazy. But growing up in that, I guess, realm felt, you always had somebody with you because you could always revert to music. If you were having a hard day, you knew a song. If you had a hard day, you could go play an instrument. And that felt good to me. I want to raise my kids like that because it always reminded me, if you're having a hard day, you don't know who to revert to. You don't have to revert to drugs, whatever else could be, revert to music and Jesus.
So how many instruments do you play?
Man, I play almost 8 instruments.
I want to hear them.
Man, so acoustic guitar, bass guitar. I play a little bit of saxophone. I play the piano. I play the drums. A little bit of trumpet. And what's the 8th one? Did I say drums? It's 7. Drums.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So you all were groomed, coming up together. Yeah. Singing together, the Groover Boys, y'all Family Feud, right? All of that.
That was so much fun. We acted a fool, man.
Yeah, it was great. So we just finished your instruments that you play. So being a part of a family where I know they're probably sectioned you all off, and the Groover Boys. So talk to us about how was it stepping out on your own, and what made you step out on your own?
Man, that is still traumatizing to this day. When you're groomed in a family like that, everybody is great at singing and playing. Yeah. But everybody in my family is either somewhere in the medical field, in the law field, or a teacher or a principal somewhere. Wow. And I loved law. That's what I was going to do. Okay. And I just got an amazing opportunity very young to go tour. And I got the feeling of that, and I was like, oh my God, like this is what I want to do in my life.
Wow.
And, you know, even when it comes over to church, I remember the first time, you know, my grandfather had 6 churches. He was, you know, very,
Yeah.
very well known in
Yeah.
the apostolic faith. And I was the first one to quote unquote leave. Like,
Yeah.
everybody's like, what are you doing? You're going to hell. I'm like, wait. No, I'm not. I'm not leaving.
Right,
but,
right.
He was the main one that gave me his blessing.
Wow.
He prayed over me. I'll never remember this day. I was in his office and I was talking to him about it. And I had talked to my uncle, everybody else, my mom, my dad. And I was terrified. One person, you know, I'm not scared of nobody on this planet. But one man that made me shake without even hitting, just him looking at me, was my grandfather, Apostle Jonah Gruber. And my father, of course, in Jesus. But that's about it. But I stood up to him and said, hey, Granddad, told him what was going on. And the actual church that got me out first, that wanted me to come, was a mega church. I was like, I told him 3 times no.
Yeah.
No. And my granddad was like, why? Like,
Right.
so when I told him, hey, Granddad, can I please do it this time? I just want your blessing on it. Stood up. My granddad said, stand up. And if you know my granddad was very tall.
Yeah.
So he grabbed me, embraced me into his chest and prayed, you know, God, give him the desires of your heart. Short, simple prayer. And from that moment, it's like my music career. I didn't have to ask nobody. I didn't have to beg anybody. I got opportunities to do anything, you know, everything I've ever wanted to do in music for the most part. So,
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, how is it dealing with having your grandfather or that one spiritual voice being able to help you navigate through the different changes and finding yourself, even if it is finding yourself outside of what you're traditionally raised up in? How did that impact you and help you out?
man, I think that's a really tough question. Being that he's not here now, you see how much he meant to us.
Right.
I don't think anybody in this world can ever replace, and everybody feels like that about
Right,
their grandparents.
right.
But I just feel like seeing somebody and seeing what he did for so many people,
Right.
and how he had the time to transfer that over to his family is it's incredible to me. Some people don't think that's germane to their life, but it is to me.
Right.
The things that I see him taught or teach all of us growing up, it has remained with me to this day.
Wow.
Like, you know, I mean, it ain't just about church, but that's what I was raised
Right,
in.
right.
You know, now you got churches that have all night prayer. They start prayer at 6 and they out at 9
Yeah.
p.m.
Yeah.
My granddad church, we started at 6 p.m. went out to 6 a.m. the next morning. And I'm like,
Good-
man,
good old shit.
oh my God. I'm like, when I was younger, I hated it. I was like,
Right.
Granddad, there's not this much prayer in the world. But the older I get, you know, the songs they would sing, the scriptures he would pray, he would he would expound on in those prayers. It's kept me to where I am today. And, you know, I often think now, everything that I do, every word I say, every church I work at, every real estate deal I do, I think about now, what would my granddad do
Yeah.
if I did not or did do what I'm thinking about doing?
Yeah.
And it often shifts me, you better not do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You might want to do that. So that's what kind of cultivates me to
So
this day.
I think it's good to have, and one of the things that I'm hearing you saying, that it's good to have a good foundation as you grow.
Yeah.
It kind of keeps you solid, you know,
Absolutely.
as you're venturing out doing different things. And of course, for you having this great exposure, going on tour, singing in church and then in non-church environments, that foundation is so key as your gift is opening up doors, making room for you in various places.
Yeah.
How have you dealt with balancing between the in-church, out-of-church, gifting and platforms that you've been given?
That's another tough question, because just like I think Jazz said, you know, people think because you're gospel, you're raised in church, oh, you shouldn't be singing that. Well, why? Show, you know, my grandfather used to always say, you know, numbers lie, men and women lie, and sometimes the clock lies, but you cannot fight the word of God. Show me where it says I cannot sing that in the scripture,
Yes,
and I'll be with
yes,
you.
yes.
But again, it sounds like I'm leading everything back to him, but he was
It's
a very
okay.
vital part of my life.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like just this past summer, I got a chance to go on almost a 12 state tour.
Wow.
And experiencing all type of different experiences and people. Like, we went to Canada, Winnipeg, Canada, and we sung in front of 40,000 people.
Wow.
That is the biggest crowd I've ever sing in front of. I'm gonna post pictures and videos about it so y'all see it. But that was the most amazing time for me, because I was like, what did I do to deserve this?
Yeah.
But it took me back to what my grandfather prayed.
Yeah.
Like, I try to keep my heart pure. Like, I don't want to ever come in contact with somebody and they feel like I've wronged them. I said something. I want everybody to feel like they're special when they meet me, because that's what he did.
Yeah.
Every single person that he came in contact with, he made sure they felt special. Everybody says that, and that's what I want to continue to do. But that's how it's helped me, because I know, I may not be in church, but somebody's watching me at all times. So it's not me about being perfect. It's about me being who I truly am to myself and resonate with somebody else that's around me.
When I hear people say, gospel music and then R&B, I often think Song of Solomon, and I think, I don't think you could get any more R&B-ish than that.
The whole book. I mean, what do you
right. I do think it's beautiful how we are able to incorporate the love of God, love of people, romantic love in all, because all stems from Him as it relates to love, and then having God to send His representative who knows about Him to be able to talk to people on different platforms about it. I think it's a wonderful, wonderful place to be in.
It helps. Again, like with finding myself now, even like you said, gospel artist, I don't even think I'm that. Like, it's just inspirational, something that uplifts people. It doesn't have to be, and God said, "Shata bahuta bahaya." No, everybody doesn't understand that yet. Of course, we wanted to get there, of course, right? But to get somebody there, you don't have to go, do whatever, something obtuse that's crazy. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is be inspirational, to be a light to somebody else.
I think so. As we're talking about this, finding ourselves, having these gifts, reaching different people, I think our transitions in life takes us there to even open our mind, to reach others. And so I think that's great. Listen, we're going to put on pause for 1 second, because we're going to come back and talk. I'm a church baby. He's a church baby. So we could talk all day about this. But I want you to experience the voice of Justin Groover. So I want you to take a moment, open up your hearts, open up your mind, listen, and enjoy the gift and the artistry of Justin Groover.
2, 1, 2, 3, hey. Oh. Hey. So help me sing that, y'all. 1, 2, 3. We'll say, Hey, the song says, so open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I wanna see you. I wanna see you. Hey. So open the eyes of my heart, Lord. So open the eyes of my heart. I wanna see you. I wanna see you. So we'll say your say. Beef it up a little for me, say oh. Hey, there we go, there we go, there we go. We go from the top. So open the eyes of my heart. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. Open the eyes of my heart.
Open the eyes of my heart, Lord.
Open the eyes.
Open the eyes of my heart. I wanna see you. I wanna see you.
To see you high.
High and lifted up,
So shining in.
shining in the light of your glory.
Pour out your
Pour out your power and love.
as we cry.
Holy, holy, holy.
So high and lifted up.
High and lifted up,
So shining in the light.
shining in the light of your glory.
Pour out your power as we cry.
Holy, holy, holy.
So we'll say, oh, 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 oh. Sing it with me one time. So we'll say, oh. Hey. Oh. Hey. Oh. Just me and Josh. Hey. So open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I wanna see you. I wanna see you. Hey. So open the eyes of my heart. So open the eyes of my heart. I wanna see you. I wanna see you.
Welcome back. Welcome back. I know you enjoyed Justin. Listen, I'm so excited to have him here on the couch sharing with us. We were just talking about transitions before we just took a moment to enjoy your voice. You know, when major people in our lives transition, it often causes us to redefine ourselves, to look at ourselves differently,
Yeah.
and hopefully to grow and to discover. And I know in the recent passing of your grandfather, and my mom passed in 2020, it was such a transitional. I don't think, I tell people this, I don't even think I'll be doing this if that hadn't happened. And so from her death, this was a transitional moment for me. How has your grandfather's transition helped to define who you are presently right now?
Man, this is the first time I'm talking about this live. So my grandfather passing was honestly the hardest thing I've ever had to deal with in my life. And my family has been through some traumatic things.
Yeah.
But my grandfather's passing was like, whoa, like I'm talking about I went to a dark, dark place. I don't hear nothing about God. I don't hear nothing about family. I don't want from nobody. But you know, it was one night I was in the middle of my room in living space downstairs, and I was just like, you know what? Why did this happen?
Yeah.
You know, people say don't ask God why. Where is that in the Bible? But I also say like, you know, why did you allow this to happen? You know, people say, oh, he was older. That doesn't mean anything. My granddad was in great health. Like there was nothing wrong. Like people say he was older.
Wow.
What does that mean? Like they say, let me just say that.
Yeah.
Well, you know, when somebody older passes away, it doesn't make it easy when y'all say, well, how old was he?
Right.
We still want him here, you know? But no, man, it's helped to find me and find out who I am, because it made me get a relationship with God truly outside of church.
Yeah.
You know, growing up Apostolic Pentecostal, we are taught, which is I still believe, you know, four walls ministry, you know, being very a big advocate for that, which I still am.
Yes.
But I found so much more, such a freeing moment when I found God outside of church.
Yeah.
When I'm in my room or in my bedroom
Yeah.
and I'm like, what am I doing? Like,
Yeah.
why am I doing this? Who can give me the answers to what I'm doing?
Yeah.
And shortly after that, my prayer life changed. It's not all about church. It's really just about me figuring out who I am.
Yeah.
Outside of Greater Views, outside of Justin, outside of Groover, outside of Roberts, who am I?
Yeah.
And it's led me to transition to happy spaces now, to where I can guide other young men. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm jumping the gun.
No, you're good. You go ahead. Go
Okay,
ahead.
cool.
Yes.
So transitions into, so I had what we call Justin's One Day Gentleman's Camp last year, which was named after my granddad. His name was Gentle. So basically, my goal was to have 100 teenage boys and just teach them how to tie a tie, be financially stable. How to change a tire. The woman don't walk on the side of the road where the cars are coming.
Right.
And I was worried about it because I was like, it was a devil fear in my head. My
Yeah.
granddad's not here. How do I make this come happen? I want to have all these great ideas. I'm a creative, but terrible at planning. Like, how do I do this? But it came out great. We
understand.
wound up having
Yeah.
120 young boys there.
Wow.
And the whole thing was just proof of that I was doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
I would have never done that
Yeah.
had my grandfather not transitioned.
Yeah.
I never would have thought about it.
I think this is a space that I want to say to someone. You may be dealing with grief, you may be dealing with the loss of someone, but I want you to ask God to give you purpose in it. And it doesn't take away the pain, it doesn't take away loss. Grief is going to be a part of you for the rest of your life because it's a real person, but there can be purpose in all of this, and growth and development. And I'm loving what you're saying, because at the end of the day, you're literally passing down to somebody else what was given to you.
Yeah.
And what other way to say thank you to someone who's poured into you than to pass it along to someone else. And so with that, you're doing that with the young men. And what is that called again?
So it's called Justin's One Day Gentleman Camp. We're having it again this year, but it's called Justin's One Day Gentleman's Camp.
All right. And when will you be having that again?
So we don't have a date yet.
Okay,
Because
okay,
last year we
okay,
did it
okay.
in March.
Okay.
And I want to wait because I want to do it like 10 times nicer this year. So we're working on it now, but we'll see.
All right. That's good stuff.
TBD.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. And then you made this other transition, like out of nowhere, to go into real estate. It's just like boom.
Yeah,
And
man.
your what they would call what mantra is, I will sell
Yes, sir.
what, $1 million.
Yep, in a month. God did.
Yeah. All right. So talk to us about that transition to real estate. Yeah. Talk to us about that.
Man, so sorry y'all gonna not like me, but I don't care. I love my granddaddy. So my granddad always had multiple properties. And
Wow.
So, and my uncle Kelvin was like, he was in real estate. So I was like, I've always been in the houses. I like money. I like nice stuff. There's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
The saying is, the love of all money.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I'm not a pastor. He is. So, I always wanted to do something that was resounding around that.
Yes.
And so I took a class and I was like, man, how can I change my life? Now that I had a great life, people know the Groovers, so we got a good life. But how do I make it better for myself?
Right.
So I have this thing. I'm going to buy my mom a house and whatever she wants in her favorite car. My dad, you got it too. I already did something like that for my dad, but like,
Right.
I wanted to say, I'm doing music and I wanted to do law, but I don't have the time with law. Like, I want to do music and I want to do something else, but I don't have the time. What real estate did for me was free up the time and still gave me the money I could make to go do music. So that's the main reason why I even got to do that tour last year. Like,
Wow.
had I had, a 9 to 5 doing law or doing medical field, whatever, I wouldn't have been able to take almost 4 months off. And the great thing about it, I got to travel the world getting paid great doing what I love to do.
Right.
Seeing
right.
places out in Pagosa, Colorado Springs, seeing snow on the floor when it's 72 degrees. And
Yes.
you're like, how's this happening? That's how you know God is real. Like,
Yeah.
seeing God in different forms for me is what really been changing my life. So real estate did that for me.
So I'm circling back around because when we do these, I'm always figuring out what is, even though we talk about transition, what is the message what is something that someone can walk away with. And one of the things that I'm hearing is, even with your grandfather being such a pillar in your life, the things that he's poured into the family, like different parts of him is coming out of you, you know, from the church, from the music to the real estate. All of those are seeds that are coming out of you, and you're cultivating it, developing it, and uniquely making it your own, you know, carving your own path out in it. And I think it's great. I think it's awesome. So what I do want to right here, tell them, how could they get in contact with you if they need to buy a house, sell a house, you know, in your real estate? Talk to us about that real quick.
Yeah, man, it's real simple. I'm the same way. It's the same thing across every platform. So I have Justin the Singing Realtor. That's I have a website, justinthesingingrealtor.com is my domain. My email is justinthesingingrealtor@outlook.com. My Instagram is Justin the Singing Realtor. I have a personal one too, but it's linked onto that one. But that's how you find me.
All right. Listen. I've enjoyed talking to you. Our time it came and went so fast,
like,
right?
It really did.
It went so fast. Listen, I hope you've enjoyed this time that we had with On the Couch with EAJ3. I want to say thank you again to Justin for coming out, hanging out with us, being on the couch. Listen, we're getting ready to close out, and Justin is coming back to close us out with another number. I hope you are enjoying this time that we've set aside to just sit on the couch, to talk to people about life, talk to people about purpose, talk to people about faith. Listen, I want you to continue to grow, continue to develop, to continue to become. And you never know, you might end up on the couch with EAJ3, interviewing you, talking about life, talking about purpose, and talking about faith. All right. I love you. I look forward to seeing you again. Have a great one. Justin is taking us out at this time. Hey.
So special about that place. Even our emotions had an echo in so much space. Hey, and when I'm out there, yeah, without care, yeah, I was out of touch. But it wasn't because I didn't know enough. I just knew too much. Hey, come on, y'all, hit me hard. Hey, does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? Possibly. And I hope that you are having the time of your life. Hey, but think twice. Hey, special about that place. But gold and so much space. Hey. When you're out there, yeah, without care, yeah, I was out of touch. Hey. But it wasn't because I didn't know.